will be what truly scales them, will be what truly takes them to the next level. And that is because we all know that AIP, artificial intelligence platform, has huge potential. But in today's video, I wanted to bring you 6 of the more underrated features of Palantir. Things that they have or they do that could be considered as moats. So let's get into the first one. And in my opinion, this is one of the biggest moats that Palantir have. And that is that they have a government side of their business. They provide their software and offer their solutions to the US government. And not only the US government now, actually, other governmental organizations around the world. And the reason that this is such a moat is because not many other companies can actually work with the US government. Not many companies are allowed to offer their solutions, their software solutions to the US government organizations. And that is because these other companies simply do not have the accreditation needed, whereas Palantir absolutely do. In fact, Palantir are one of only 3 companies in the entire world with IL Impact Level 6 accreditation. This almost puts them on a pedestal for the US government. Okay, so why can't other companies just get this accreditation and start working with the government? Well, it's a very difficult process. It's very time consuming, it's very expensive, the regulation is really high. Not every company can do this. This means that Palantir, although a small company, gets some of the largest, most important government contracts. And these contracts are important because they are really, really big. They are substantial amounts of money and they last for a very, very long time. And these contracts don't just come and go. They are very sticky in nature. This is sticky revenue for Palantir. And by working with governments, Palantir is able to build up their reputation and their branding because only the most trusted companies are allowed anywhere near the highly classified, highly confidential data that the US government have. This then helps them with their commercial side, which we'll get onto in just a minute. But also thinking about the money here, Palantir are able to generate vast amounts of money from their government deals, and then they can use that money, draw that money away and put it into funding their commercial side. They can actually use it for R&D and making their platforms better, growing out their business, and then that will all help to gain more commercial contracts in the future. Now, leading on from this is point number 2, but they are interconnected, and that is FedStart. And this is a program that Palantir offer. Through this program, other businesses, including startups, have a way to offer their software solution to the US government through Palantir, because of course Palantir, like we just said, have the correct accreditation, and other companies can't get this because it's time consuming, because it's costly, because it's difficult, whereas Palantir will do that work for you and actually allow your company to get in front of the US government. And that's a really big deal for a lot of companies. And again, this is something special to Palantir because actually other companies can't offer the equivalent of a FedStart program because they don't already have the accreditation and the built up relationship that Palantir do with the US government. And although we don't have full details on the revenue side of what FedStart is generating, it is still a very, very good business strategy in my opinion. Now, just going back slightly actually and thinking about the government business of Palantir again, they are actually solving some of the hardest problems out there that no other company are even trying to touch. Think about vaccine distribution. Think about allowing soldiers in real time on the battlefield to make life-changing decisions. The most complex defense challenges, national security threats, cyber attacks, this is all stuff that Palantir are actually working with every single day, actually helping to figure out every single day in their work with the government. So if you can start to think about the value that they are actually providing in all these different areas and how difficult it would be for another company to come in, kick Palantir out of their government contracts and take them over, you start to understand that this is a real moat that they have. So yes, maybe eventually there will be some other companies that are really strong competitors to Palantir on the commercial side. But do I think there are going to be any new upcoming competitors on the government side that we don't already know about for Palantir? I don't really think so. Not anytime soon anyway. But with that said, I still think the commercial side of Palantir will be what truly scales them, will be what truly takes them to the next level. And that is because their total addressable market is massive. We've said time and time before on this channel, Palantir has the ability, has the options to work with pretty much, if not all, sectors in the world. But the government side is really crucial on allowing them to expand their commercial reach. And not just with the money that they can pump back into R&D like we were just saying, but also the idea of reputation, the idea of already having case studies where they've provided value to the government. They've shown that they are trusted with the most confidential classified data, and all of that helps commercial businesses take them very, very seriously. So now we move on to the third reason, and that is that Palantir is a founder-led company. Some of the best, most successful companies in the entire world are founder-led companies, and Palantir is one of them. Think about Nvidia, think about Tesla, just to name a couple. These companies that are still being ran by their initial founders often exhibit superior performance and true innovation. And this isn't just me randomly saying this, this is actually backed up by research. For example, the study that you can see named on the screen now found that S&P 500 companies that had the founder as the current CEO were way more innovative, generating 31% more patents of higher value. And a second piece of research showed that founder-led companies were better able to maintain profitable growth over the long term. This success is attributed to the founder's mindset, which is a combination of unique practices and attitudes established by founders, including a deep sense of responsibility. Palantir has this. Earlier on in this video, we mentioned this idea of sticky revenue. As customers integrate Palantir's software deep into their operations, reaching a critical phase in the sales cycle, it actually becomes increasingly central to their enterprise system. And this makes Palantir's software an indispensable part of that company's workflow. Switching to any other alternative provider after such a deep integration process would not only be difficult, it would be very challenging, time-consuming, but also very, very costly, pretty much meaning that they would have to start from scratch in terms of data collection and data analysis. What we then see is that Palantir have very, very good customer retention and their renewals are very frequent. The last two also go hand in hand with each other. While Palantir is often praised for its data handling abilities and maybe even its AI functionality, what is quite often overlooked is their advanced privacy and security features. It's safe to say that their platforms offer some of the most robust encryption and access controls out there, ensuring data security and compliance with different privacy regulations. And this is particularly vital for those customers handling a lot of sensitive data. Palantir's emphasis on data security and privacy is most definitely one of their competitive edges, considering we are living in an era in a world now where data breaches and privacy concerns are at the forefront of a lot of companies' minds. And they don't just say that they care about data security either. We know this. It is proven by their work with some of the most classified and confidential government data. For example, they offer granular access controls. Enterprises can decide which users see which data sets. And then thinking about the LLMs, you can decide as a business what data points the LLMs actually have access to. Leading on from this is flexibility. Palantir are focused on offering customizable solutions to their clients. This means that they go on to build very strong client relationships, which then leads on to long-term contracts. And this adaptability that they have, again, allows them to work with a variety of different businesses from different sectors, from healthcare to finance and everything in between. And I think for a long time, this is why Palantir were called a consultancy company, because they were consulting with businesses first to allow them to actually help them build a customizable solution. But now we are seeing that actually they are definitely not just a consultancy firm and they are providing real value to many different companies. If you liked this video and you found it valuable, please consider hitting that like button and even subscribing to the channel. Both are absolutely free and would mean a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon.